or an online reading session. So before starting our online reading session, we will chant prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuramilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Praname Namo Vishnupadaya Preshthaya Bhakti Vedanta Swami Praname Namaste Saraswati Deve Devan Pacharya Vishesha Shunyam Adivashit Preshthaya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karke Vacharam Gangati Padam Techi Gurukantaya Isha Yasya Vadani Lakshmi Yasya Savakshasi Yasya Hridaye Samvitam Nrsimham Vachu Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaye Tad Bhaktaye Namo Namah Yasya Deve Bara Bhakti Yata Deve Tata तस्ते गदाहि अर्थापकाशन्ते महात्मन योऽन्त प्रविश्य ममाच मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य शक्ति धरस्वधाम्न्यां च हस्तशरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं च गुरुहरिवाण्या कृष्णचित्तो विचिन्तो परितपितृगेहा दन्त संसारकूपा प्रभु भजन सुखाब्दो मज्जीयन् स्वं सविश्वो भुजति विकासो भक्ति तीव्रः. So we are reading from the book The Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada from the section part 2, Srila Prabhupada's success, under the section enemy of everyone. They are trying to kill God and we are presenting God. We are the greatest enemy. Okay. Recognizing that I am the greatest enemy of modern civilization, it is a regular war declared. Srila Prabhupada advised, do not expect that this movement will be accepted. He observed that naturally people are not interested in our movement because we're against 4 things that they are supporting. Very good. The Krishna consciousness movement is not popular with the karmis because this movement recommends one, refrain from illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. These are restrictions that karmis very much dislike. ISKCON's preaching is sure to rile present day kamsas. What is meant by rile? Annoyed, irritating. Yes, we are instructing no intoxication. So those who are flourishing by selling cigarettes and wine, liquor say, immediately kill them. The moment becomes very strong, then our business will be lost. Kill him. So naturally they will be enemies. The same thing. Kamsa saw that now my sister is married. It will take a long time, but there is a cause of my death. They are thinking like that. No meat eating. Then all slaughterhouses will be closed. They are an enemy. Although there is no such symptom that slaughterhouses are going to be closed, they will think like that. We have forbidden no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. The whole Western world is living on these 4 pillars. Just see our position. Everyone is thinking if this movement goes on, then how will all these nightclubs go on? How will all the breweries go on? How will all the slaughterhouses and cigarette factories go on? Yesterday, while I was distributing books, one Mataji, like, she said, we have Bhagavad Gita, we have Bhagavad Gita. Then I said, read, please read. We are reading. Then I said, everybody knows what everybody is reading. That if you say like this, how will you preach? So they want us to pamper them. So, like that. So you cannot expect that we will get many friends. That is not possible because the world is full of kamsas, demons. So we have to struggle. Simply by presenting the knowledge of the Shastra, devotees become unpopular. Yes. They do not like this Krishna consciousness movement anywhere. They are under the impression that we are making people escape. Actually, this whole chapter is like how karmis don't like ISKCON. We never hear like this. We only hear big scores, how people are becoming, transforming their life. is that and all, that's good. But the other side is of the coin is that even people don't like us. Here Prabhupada is writing, they don't like this Krishna consciousness movement anywhere. They are under the impression that we are making people escape. But this is not the fact. We are distributing knowledge. Jnanagni dagda karmanam. When one becomes on the when one becomes on the platform of knowledge, then he does not work like an ass. But people want that people should work like an ass. In US, if you're distributing books, if you tell people that you're working so hard like an ass, like a dog, they will feel very proud. If you tell here Americans that your dog is like a baby, it's just like your face, then they will become very happy. They will think, oh, it's a compliment for them. So like that, if you tell people that you are working so hard, people will become so happy. That is the difficulty. Prabhupada is writing. There is a clash between our movement and others. There is difference of philosophy. But they want to make everyone work hard like ass. And we say, Nayam Deo Deo Bhajani Loke, Kashtan Kama Narati Vid Bhujanye. We are preaching that human society is not meant for working hard like ass or hog simply for sense gratification. No devotee, nobody is saying this one nowadays. They want us, everyone to have work like an ass. And we say like this. Nobody is preaching like this. Very few devotees are preaching. Knowing that Hare Krishna movement is very dangerous to the modern way of life, Srila Prabhupada expected that devotees would be widely perceived as enemies and become themselves enemies to the, enemies. Rascaldom is going on and our society is protesting. Therefore, we are the enemy of everyone because we are protesting this. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. Noting that this movement is threatening the foundation of material civilization in the Western countries, Srila Prabhupada thought it natural that enemies would try to surpass us. He enjoined devotees to remain undaunted and become themselves enemies to inimical. Enemies to the inimical. As soon as we become very important, our enemies will try to surpass us, suppress us. That is natural. Even Krishna was suppressed. Krishna could not be suppressed, but the attempt was there by Kamsa. So these things go on. Still, we have to work. If we work sincerely, then we will come out successful. We shall not be afraid. Yuddhasvamam anusmara. Krishna advised Arjuna, you fight. Not that we shall not fight. That is good. They are feeling the presence, pressure of the moment. Otherwise, why they going to take a step? This movement is threatening the foundation of material civilization. This movement is threatening the foundation of material civilization in the Western countries. When I newly came to United States, and myself and one of my godbrother, we went for book distribution in some Telugu speaking big place. Then at that time, I was like, very, very, like, it was in 2023. So obviously, book distributors means they are very enthusiastic and they want to speak out. Then I gave Bhagavatam set and I told that, yeah, thank you for taking Bhagavatam set and helping us to crush this American culture. Then immediately that devotee became so intimidated. Then he said in the, to all devotees, Prabhu Krishna Keshav is speaking like this. Oh, he's saying that you want to destroy American culture. As if it is like, I was not feeling any, as if I told something great. But they took it in a very, I don't know whether they speak all these, they don't speak or what. Because in book distribution, they don't say all these things. But somehow it came from my mouth and that person took Bhagavatam set and he left. So everything devotees, they want to pull the leg of the devotees, other devotees, somehow. Okay, continuing. Their whole foundation is meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and intoxication. We have to fight. Here is a chance for fighting. So why they are afraid? You have to fight, keeping our principles strictly. Yuddhasvama manusmara. We should not be afraid to fight. This fight is another good news, that they are feeling the strength strength. Otherwise, they would not have prepared to fight. Formerly, they were thinking that so many swamis and yogis come and go, but now they are feeling the strength. They are charging that their young men are being kidnapped. Without fight, where is life? If there is no fighting, then what is that life? That is a dead stone. Fight must be there. Krishna's whole life was fighting from the very birth. This fighting means they are feeling the presence of Krishna consciousness movement. Otherwise, why they are arranging a fight? Had it been an insignificant thing, there would be no question of fighting. A howitzer gun is not required for killing a mosquito. This Mahesh Yogi and this Yogi are mosquitoes. Who will say like this? For them, they don't require any gun. For a big enemy, big gun. They are preparing a big enemy. That means the Hare Krishna movement is a big enemy. Sorry, they are preparing a big gun. That means the Hare Krishna movement is a big enemy. It is not a mosquito. So you remain a big enemy. Don't become a mosquito. In India, also, many enemies. In Vrindavan, the caste Goswamis are my enemies, preaching that we are not authorized in Mayapur. We are not authorized. In Mayapur, many of my godbrothers have become my enemies because they don't like that my disciples are calling me Prabhupada. And in Bombay, the municipal corporation are my enemies. They don't want the temple. But now in Vrindavan, we have no enemies. In Vrindavan, we move around with Goswamis. We invite them, they invite us. We go to this one. It is everything is changed, or they are changing. Some devotees literally, deliberately, they are changing. Many Mayamadis and sannyasis accuse Srila Prabhupada and his followers of spoiling Hinduism. In India, we are falsely accused of converting Malechas and Yavanas to the Hindu religion. In India, there are many Mayavadi sannyasis who make accusations against our movement, accuse us to destroying the principles of Hindu religion by accepting Muslims and Yavanas as Vaishnavas. Actually, this one thing I wanted to tell you. This is the greatest blunder by the so-called Mayavadi sannyasis, the mathas, and all those people. Actually, at one point of time, during, like, they were the so-called converted Muslims, converted Christians, they wanted to come back to become Hindus. But at that time, these sannyasis, they never allowed them to come back. So that's why, hence, we are suffering now, in one sense. The population of Muslims is increasing. So who is now all these RSS people, VHP people, and some so-called Shankara Sampradaya people, they are telling have 4 children, 5 children. All the people, they made them to convert to Muslims, and now they want more population. How will they get? It's not possible. Such people are simply envious. We are not spoiling the Hindu system of religion, but are simply following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by traveling all over the world and accepting those who are interested in understanding Krishna as Krishnadas or Ramadas. All the Mayavadis are against me because I am talking about Bhagavad Gita as it is. And they screw their own meaning by jugglery of words. So they are all enemies, the Mayavadi sannyasis, Smartha Pandits, all of them. That Srila Prabhupada was seen as an enemy both in the West, both in the East and in the West. When I come to India, they say that I am spoiling the Hindu system of religion. And when I go there, the Christian says, here is the greatest enemy. Our service is appreciated neither in India nor abroad in the Western countries, where we are endeavoring to spread Krishna consciousness movement. In India, the caste Brahmanas have become enemies of the Krishna consciousness movement because we elevate foreigners who supposed to be Malechas and Yavanas to the position of Brahmanas. So, in order to become nice to the people, because they don't like us, we are starting Shivaratri, we are doing Ganesh Puja, we are doing Saraswati Puja, We are doing, I don't know, Shat Puja. I don't know, we may do Karwa Chauth. We may do Ayudha Puja. We may do future. That is possible. There are chances that people, devotees, some devotees will become, who will become the leader. Whatever leader might is right, leader likes, they will do it. So now Shivratri is coming, many temples are organizing. Uh, I don't want to be present over there. I want to just go get out for books. I can't see that with my own eyes. Thus, the caste Brahmanas of India are very much displeased by our activities in the Western world. In the West, also, the parents of the young people who joined the movement also became enemies. We have no business creating enemies, but the process is such that the non devotees, yes, we have no business in creating enemies, but the process is that non devotees will become inimical to us. Actually, it is not possible to put a sugar coated pill for Krishna consciousness. It's already very, very bitter. For outside people, it's not so easy to digest Krishna consciousness. Our devotees are trying to put a sugar coated pill and present it, but they are failed. Just continuing, just as demons tried to kill Krishna but were themselves killed, the same fate awaits those who try to kill the Krishna consciousness movement. They are now taking action how to stop this Krishna consciousness movement in Europe and America. There was a podcast. Is this the end of Hare Krishna movement? There is a podcast on YouTube by one so-called Swami. I don't know who is that person. Is this the end of Hare Krishna ISKCON? That's what he wrote. They are now taking action how to stop this Hare Krishna movement in Europe and America. Of course, we are not afraid of this effort. They will never be successful. Rest assured, because we are pushing Krishna consciousness movement. Yes. Krishna was attempted to be killed from the very beginning of his life. That is the nature of this material world. How to kill God. God is dead. This is their attempt. From the life of Krishna, we can understand that so many attempts were made by the demons and Rakshasas to kill Krishna. But actually, Krishna killed them all. Krishna cannot be killed, nor can his movement be killed. Yes. Rather, those who are attempting to kill, they will be killed. Yes. Notwithstanding all this discussion of enemies, devotees should remember that from the highest spiritual perspective, no one is our enemy. Yes. No one is an enemy. When the Supreme Master of God is pleased with the living entity because of his devotional service, one becomes a Pandita and does not make distinctions between enemies, friends, and himself. Etiquettely, he then thinks every one of us is an eternal servant of God, and therefore we are not different from one another. Ultimately, ignorance is our greatest enemy. Okay, Shamswarup Prabhu, you can read. Start.
Okay, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Force if required. Pragmatically, Srila Prabhupada recognized that although violence is undesirable, it is sometimes needed in state administration. Sometimes law and order requires violence, just like the government maintains a military and police force because sometimes they are required. So, fighting or violence is not always impious. But a responsible person does not take to violence unnecessarily. He considers things very nicely, and when there is no other alternative than violence, then he uses violence.
Hare Krishna.
So,
Yesterday, yesterday while I was distributing books, one boy and his sister were going walking, and I said, "Hey, Hare Krishna, we love you. We want to give you these books." Uh, I, he said, "I hate you. You are my enemy." He said.
oh,
He said, and he was walking. And after that, I found that seeing his mother is a Muslim.
mm-hmm,
So the thing is that he directly told me, "I hate you." "Oh, you hate me? What I did? I never did anything to you."
mm-hmm,
He left. So he didn't wear like a Muslim or anything. He was having small beard. Like,
Mm.
nowadays, even Hindus are also cutting their beard like
Yeah.
Islamic Aurangzeb kind of a beard. The point is that I didn't recognize him, but his sister was laughing and seeing at his face. Why are you saying like this? But that guy was very serious. And I remember the last day when I was in Baruch, I went to cancel my tickets to Rameshwaram because that didn't get confirmed. It was in waiting list. So I went there. I canceled my tickets, took the money, and I was going. Lakshmi, I took, and I was going outside of the railway station. And there was a Muslim family who was going in the car. They just passed me where I was like kicking my bike, and I was starting the bike, and I was going, and with two boys, and with the big two boys, and father and mother was in burqa, and then there is grandmother. Mother was not in fully in burqa; she was just normal, but they were Muslim family. And while that vehicle was going and I was going, that car passed on me, and that boy, small boy, he saw me and put the his hand like a revolver. You put a hand like a revolver,
Mm-hmm.
like a pistol, like a gun. And he saw me, and he did like this to me as if he's shooting me.
How old was he, Prabhu?
He's just 4 5 years old.
Oh,
Then
Krishna.
what I also did the same gesture.
Mm-hmm.
I also did the same. His father stopped and, why are you doing like this? You first tell your son he's doing the first is your son is doing, I said.
Mm-hmm.
Then he told, why are you doing like this? What I'm saying is that so they are having this hate, the violence is there in their brains from childhood.
That's what
Okay.
is surprising, Prabhu. How 4 5 years old is.
Oh, who's it? That voice is in the background? Whose voice is that?
What voice, Prabhu? I don't hear anything.
Oh, now it is stopped. Okay. Now it is stopped. Okay, Prabhu,
Oh,
continue.
okay. Similarly, considering that by force, if you give some good medicine, that is good for him. Srila Prabhupada foresaw that as our movement grows stronger, all bogus social, political, or religious systems will be stopped. At least theoretically, he was prepared to utilize force in order to uplift human society. Our Krishna consciousness proposition is that human life is meant for factual knowledge or ultimate knowledge. But these rascals are checking that progress. That means the prerogative of human life is being denied to human society. So these kind of hindrances should be stopped either by soliciting or even by force because human society is being ruined. These things have to be stopped. The whole world will be changed. The idea is to bring the atheistic class of men under control. There are two ways of bringing the opposition under control. One is by logic and philosophy, the other is by force. That was done by Bharata Maharaja when he was king of this planet. In one conversation, Srila Prabhupada said, as soon as we become stronger than the communist movement, we shall finish everyone. Kamala Krishna Goswami asked, Kamala Krishna Goswami asked, you mean attack them? To which Srila Prabhupada replied, that I shall tell later. You become a little strong. We cannot allow them because Krishna's policy is Paripranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 text 8. You have to take that policy. Tamal Krishna. One day on your walk, you were saying that Krishna's soldiers will walk all over the world and they will approach everyone and say, do you believe in Krishna? and if they say no, immediately kill them. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, not kill them with weapon, but kill them by Sankirtana. They are already dead. Physically killing is for very big, strong men like Mao or Lenin, not common people. They have to be shown mercy. If they allow us to forward, if they allow us to forward our movement, then we are satisfied. And when there is hindrance, the person who is hindering finished. But don't do it now, chuckles. Then you will be finished. Tongue in cheek, Srila Prabhupada recommended. If the state is actually serious to give the best desirable thing, they should make a law that anyone who is not chanting 16 rounds will be hanged. Then everyone must chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The whole world laughs. Devotees are fighters, not cowards. To the common accusation that bhakti makes people cowardly and dull, Srila Prabhupada responded robustly. Somebody was criticizing me. Swamiji, you are introducing this Hare Krishna movement. People are becoming cowards. They simply chant Hare Krishna. So I replied, you will see the power of the Hare Krishna movement in due course of time. He wanted his disciples to be strong Vaishnavas like Hanuman and Arjuna, ready to fight for Krishna. Somebody protested, your Krishna consciousness movement makes the people dull. You have not seen the Vaishnava. There were two fights in the Indian history. One is Rama and Ravana, and one is Kurukshetra. And the hero is a Vaishnava. We are going to produce such Vaishnavas, not these dull rascals sitting down. We don't want these Vaishnavas sitting down rascals. We want Arjuna or we want no one. That is Vaishnava. That is wanted. Lord Chaitanya was not a so called timid Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is a fearless devotee of the Lord, and for the right cause, he can take any step suitable for the purpose. Arjuna was also a Vaishnava devotee of Lord Krishna, and he fought valiantly for the satisfaction of the Lord. Similarly, Vajrangaji or Hanuman was also a devotee of Lord Rama, and he gave lessons to the non devotee party of Ravana. The principles of Vaishnavism are to satisfy the Lord by all means. A Vaishnava is by nature a non violent, peaceful living being, and he has all the good qualities of God. But when the non devotee blasphemes the Lord or his devotee, the Vaishnava never tolerates such impudency. Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Rama, exhibited his wrath by burning the golden city of Ravana, but by doing so, he became the greatest devotee of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, also, the Lord induces Arjuna to engage his wrath upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. A practical application of this principle was that for defending devotees, deities, and ISKCON properties, Srila Prabhupada recommended defensive violence as and where applicable. Upon being informed of a shooting attack at New Vrindavana, he advised, you may get some guns, and some of the boys may be trained as Kshatriyas. Such gunshots could have taken place long ago since we are challenging everybody. We must be prepared to fight. We cannot stop this movement.
See, Prabhupada is recommending to have guns and boys
Hmm.
should be trained like Kshatriyas. Such gunshots can happen long ago since we are challenging everybody. So the temples who are surrounded by Muslims and so many enemies, actually we should have
Hmm.
Kshatriyas trained. But our devotees are not getting trained in that way. Actually, this is the high time. This now presently, because of the radicals becoming increasing more and more, we should be prepared for that. That also should be done. The problem is that we're neglecting in one sense. Temple properties are being looted. In Bangladesh, there is
Bangladesh,
one place,
yes.
in one temple, they looted the temple deities, gold ornaments and all, even ISKCON temple. Yeah, and nobody could do anything. Mm. Array, fellow is coming and eating chicken in the
In the
restaurant,
Govinda's
and
restaurant.
nobody go in this restaurant, and nobody could say anything to him. Actually, if we would be there, we should have slapped him like anything. First slap him, and then we will do kirtan, give him books and all. Our devotees are very complacent, Baba. It's too much. Yes.
In a follow-up letter a few days later, after the shooting affair, what precaution have you taken? When New Vrindavana has been attacked twice, thrice, why are you not keeping guns? We are not advocates of non-violence. When there is aggression, we must kill them. Immediately arrange for guns, and at least 10 to 12 men should be trained so that when again there is an attack, you can properly reply to the aggressor. In the meantime, I shall be glad to hear from you what defense measures you have taken to protect the life and property of New Vrindavana. This is
You
very
see.
important and you must take
Mm.
all steps. Yes, Prabhu.
See, Prabhupada is again and again telling what he
Mm,
is asking. He is asking again and again, what steps have you taken? What precaution have you after the shooting affair? What steps have you taken? When there is aggression, we must kill them. You see, they are
mm,
aggressors. You can't stop them because aggressors need to be killed. Otherwise, that is in the Shastra. It's not at all papam. It's not at all sinful to kill an aggressor. These people are aggressors. Unnecessarily they agitate. They are openly writing a letter to the what is that? There is one temple in Kottagudem, Venkateswara Swami temple. They are having speakers, and the nearby masjid. From there, they are writing and putting a note in the temple that fellows, you are doing this much from this many hours to this many hours, that many hours to this many. You are putting speaker. Your two wife. He's writing like that. Two wife.
I
Venkateswara
saw
Swami
that,
will
Prabhu, in
we
in
will
your
we,
yeah.
we will we will blast him. He's reading the very, very bad words, huh?
Mm,
And it can happen to ISKCON also. It is not that we are thinking we are not Hindus, but they don't see you as like that. They see you as Hindus
mm,
only. We are thinking that we are not Hindus, but they are seeing you as Hindus. First of all, understand that we didn't establish within the 70 years of ISKCON that we are not Hindus. We are not spirit souls. We are spirit soul. We never established that. And now you want to, you don't have that. That fellow should have been behind the bars, or somebody should kill them. These people, they are snakes, scorpions, and Muslims. They should be killed. That's all. There is no second thought about that. They are like there is no good Muslim. There are no good Muslims or good human beings. They're all like that. All jihadis, number one. Unless and until our devotees don't understand. See, Prabhupada is right. Immediately arrange for guns. At least 10, 12 should be trained. What is our Bhopal temple? They are not doing anything. Bhopal temple is under very great attack. Bhopal, Hyderabad, uh, they are under great attack by Muslims. They should be arranging for guns, and people should be trained. Not only guns, they should have very nice skills to learn the sword fight, and all these things should be
mm,
learned.
mm,
Kalayadi Pattu, they should learn all these big. There was a big sword which can kill 100 people at a time. It can go 10, 20, 30 feet. They should all learn. Otherwise, it is very difficult. When in Kurmagram, that big temple got burned, they
mm.
would have protested, and they know who has done it. They should go to their place and then do the big ruckus over there. But they got the money. But the point is that they're not fighting somehow. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Simultaneously, Srila Prabhupada offered a higher perspective on the fight against Maya. It is a fight against Maya. So Maya may sometimes cause casualties in our camp. We must only thank Krishna and seriously dedicate everything for him. You are Kirtanananda Maharaja. Take pleasure in performing Kirtana. That is our real weapon against Maya.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay, Paramatmananda Prabhu, please read.
Pranam Prabhu.
Harinam.
Protest movement. Misinterpretation, malinterpretation, and people are
No, no,
gliding
non-screen. And yes.
people are gliding down to abominable condition of this material life. Our Krishna consciousness movement is a protest against all this nonsense. Therefore, sometimes we are unpopular, but we don't care for that. Popular or unpopular, we must go on with our business. Think over this matter seriously. You cannot tolerate this misleading. People are innocent. It is our duty to become merciful upon them, to give them real knowledge, and these people are misleading. There must be strong protests against these rascals. Apart from intellectually combating prominent bogus theories, Srila Prabhupada advocated public protest against degraded governments, stating that there is ample scope for protest in this Sankirtana movement. He cited the precedent of precedent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's having spearheaded a mass Sankirtana procession to oppose the Qazi's ban on Sankirtana. The Qazi's order not to perform Sankirtana could stand only as long as there was no civil disobedience. Under the leadership of the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the chanters, increasing in numbers, disobeyed the order of the Qazi. Thousands assembled together and formed parties, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and making a tumultuous sound of protest. Thus the Qazi was very much afraid, as naturally one should be under such circumstances. In the present day also, people all over the world may join together in the Krishna consciousness movement and protest against the present degraded governments of the world's godless societies, which are based on all kinds of sinful activities. Srimad Bhagavatam states that in the age of Kali, thieves, rogues, and fourth class people who have neither education nor culture capture the seats of governments to exploit the citizens. This is a symptom of Kali Yuga that has already appeared. People cannot feel secure about their lives and property, yet the so called governments continue and government ministers get fat salaries although they are unable to do anything good for society. The only remedy for such conditions is to enhance the Sankirtana movement under the banner of Krishna consciousness and protest against the sinful activities of all the world's governments. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada recommended organizing public protests whenever the powers that be blatantly hounded his followers. When he heard that the Bombay municipality had refused permission to build the ISKCON temple there, Srila Prabhupada approved a disciple's suggestion to engage in civil disobedience. Following Lord Chaitanya's example, Srila Prabhupada asked all the devotees who had gathered in Vrindavan from around the world to go to Bombay to preach, go on Sankirtana, and engage in civil disobedience. To devotees in Australia who were repeatedly being arrested for performing public chanting, Srila Prabhupada wrote, the solution is simply to go on with Sankirtan as you have been doing and let them arrest us if they like. We will not stop. Just like in London, they were arrested so many times and there was so much public display of arresting that gradually the police stopped arresting. And now they have Sankirtana anywhere they like without any botheration. If we take this case to court and spend so much money for big lawyers and still do not win, then they have got the legal right to stop us. So better to forget this business of lawyers and judges and simply go on with Sankirtana. That is civil disobedience movement. Let them fill their jails with us again and again, but we shall not stop our Sankirtan movement. It may also help if you get some public sympathy through publicizing our constant persecution in the newspaper. Gradually, the city officials and constabulary will become embraced to arrest us further, and gradually we will be allowed to carry on our Sankirtana unhampered. When informed that permission to hold Rath Yatra in London had been refused, Srila Prabhupada ordered agitation must go on. At least a protest meeting should be done in such a way that the whole world may know that the British government stopped the yearly Rath Yatra ceremony of the Hindus. That should be organized. What can be done? You are not very strong GBCs. There must be a vehement protest meeting. If we simply sit, then there is no future hope of this movement. In response to harassment in Germany, Srila Prabhupada sent a missive to all temple presidents. Missive means letter.
Long official letter.
Recently in Germany, the government, the police, the church have started heavy persecution against our movement by arrests, investigation, and blocking our monies in the bank. By unfair and slanderous newspaper and television propaganda, they have ruined our reputation and turned the general public against our movement. We cannot sit down and be idle. Even killing of our devotees has been attempted in Berlin by shooting. Hamsadutta Prabhu has formulated a plan for protesting at all German embassies all over the world. This plan has my sanction. He will be contacting you in this connection. Please cooperate with him fully. Prabhu,
Yes.
yes, now in ISKCON it is happening totally opposite. If
Yes.
if someone protests, then ISKCON what reject him.
Yes.
Officially
Recently,
announced.
yeah, they did that in Bangladesh with that
Yeah.
person. Actually, that is right because there is a population and his agitation is more over there against that person, and because of him, the whole movement was under risk. See, the thing is that it is very difficult to even comprehend this at one point of time. We may criticize like that, but the thing is that in order to save the big movement and big number of devotees, it was necessary to expel him from ISKCON in one sense. Externally, may not
Yeah.
be everybody. Yeah, otherwise they are radicals, radical people. They are openly telling that ISKCON is cancer, ISKCON is terrorist organization. What terrorist are you? Are terrorist, बाबा. उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे, ऐसा है ये. Uh,
Hmm.
See, the thing is, last time, there is in 2014, 15, I think 13, 14, 14, 15, there was ISKCON Secunderabad was under encroachment, and they wanted to demolish the temple because of metro train in Hyderabad. So there is Hyderabad Metro. So L&T was the person who was constructing the pillars and laying the rail track, metro rail track. So what had happened is that they moved the plan of the track is that two three pillars are going to come on the temple. So they wanted to demolish the whole temple.
Hmm.
So they sent the letters to the temple that we are going to demolish it. Then what happened? Then immediately on one night, within one night, our Sadev Prabhu, he with their congregation, with their help, everybody, they established a 20-30 feet big Hanuman,
Hmm.
and they immediately put something like old Shiva temple at the back.
Hmm.
They have still now they have a big Shiva temple and a big Hanuman, and they protested that Hindus are being suppressed. Actually, that person who is L&T chief at that time who was sanctioning this land and then this one, he's a Muslim. So he wanted to at any point at any cost they wanted to demolish this, but because of VHP, because of Bajrang Dal, because of RSS and all, because with the help of them and even ISKCON Secunderabad, somehow they diverted the pillar into some other direction where the Hanuman big deity is there. Big deity means it's a big statue-like thing. You know, you have South India, they have big Hanuman statues, big. It's around 20-30 feet. It is. So the thing is that they diverted the pillar. Otherwise, by now, ISKCON Secunderabad wouldn't have been there for us in one sense. So they protested. So, but they are protesting also. But nowadays, it is different. They are not protesting in the other way. Yeah. Yes.
Revolutionary movement. Srila Prabhupada is the greatest revolutionary. He actually knows how to transform the world into what it should be. A revolutionary generally is a person who has a vision of utopia or a vision of a better way in which the world can go on. So, he tries using his ideologies and rhetoric to enlist support. Some revolutions are violent and some are non-violent, but generally they all fail either quickly or in the long run due to the people's imperfect notion of reality and their false goals of ideology. This revolution has the greatest revolutionary as its leader. He has a very clear vision of the world situation, a clear ideology which is taken directly from the Supreme Lord himself. In Srila Prabhupada's personal presence is powered forward, surcharged by his call to change the entire outlook and direction of civilization and bring it to Krishna. I want to begin one revolution against godless civilization. That is my ambition. It will be a revolution from godlessness to understanding of God, social, political, educational, cultural. Everything has to be changed. This is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement, wholesale through overhauling of the human society. The Krishna consciousness movement is the means for thoroughly overhauling the whole human society. Referring to this revolutionary movement and the revolutionary movement of Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada wanted to effect a new peaceful revolution throughout the whole world. He spoke about how revolutionary Krishna consciousness was in instituting the principles of devotional service, and sense control in the Western world. Because Krishna consciousness is almost fully opposed both in outlook and content to the presently dominant demonic template, to benefit others requires reforming their whole way of life. They are drunkards, woman hunters, meat eaters, and gamblers. They require to be rectified. Unless you change the society, how you can make social welfare? If you keep them as it is, then where is the question of welfare? There cannot be peace unless you reform the whole social structure, and that can be done only by this movement, Krishna consciousness. The revolution that Srila Prabhupada proposed begins at the level of thought and consciousness, aiming at a comprehensive transformation of civilization based on changing man's whole perceptions of himself and his attitude towards everything, perceiving the role of culture in shaping the way people think and act. Srila Prabhupada knew that without overhauling the whole value system of today's world, it would be difficult even for his followers to adhere to Krishna consciousness. What to speak of changing whole countries? A massive change in the social and economic structure and prevailing worldview is needed, transforming people's direction of life and encompassing details such as eating, sleeping, and race habits. As its very inception, Srila Prabhupada defined ISKCON's purpose to systematically
Oh, Krishna, I lost it.
yes,
Which page? Which page number do you know?
no Prabhu.
Oh, Krishna, I lost it. I just pressed somehow accidentally. It has gone long distance away, I think. This, yeah, unless you change. Okay. Hmm. This is the one? Ah, yes. Yes, I have.
Race habits, huh?
Yeah, you read till here, na? Yeah, you can start here, no problem.
At its very inception, that's where I think.
At its very inception, Srila Prabhupada defined ISKCON's purpose to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and to educate all peoples in the techniques of spiritual life. Thus, the revolution Srila Prabhupada proposed was to be based on knowledge and understanding. Practically, our Krishna consciousness movement is built on this idea that we want to make a world civilization on the basis of spiritual understanding. This spiritual understanding was to culminate in consciousness of Krishna as it is revealed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. As Srila Prabhupada noted in Markine Bhagavad Dharma, regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam would transform the hearts of the American people, notwithstanding they are being covered by the lower modes of nature. That the Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to bring about a global transformation of human culture is indicated at the beginning of Srila Prabhupada's preface to his exposition of that monumental work. Human society at the present moment is not in the darkness of oblivion. It has made rapid progress in the field of material comforts, education, and economic development throughout the entire world. But there is a pinprick somewhere in the social body at large, and therefore there are large scale quarrels even over less important issues. There is need of a clue as to how humanity can become one in peace, friendship, and prosperity with a common cause. Srimad Bhagavatam will feel this need, for it is a cultural presentation for the re-spiritualization of the entire human society. The revolutionary purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement is enshrined in Srimad Bhagavatam, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord, is a different creation full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Accordingly, Srila Prabhupada stated, "We have started this movement, a spiritual revolution, Krishna consciousness," and he cited that in this age of spiritual revolution was recommended by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, notwithstanding the innumerable difficulties facing humankind, injustice, crime, environmental imbalance, and the rest. Srila Prabhupada was confident that human society can be reformed by the Krishna consciousness movement, employing solutions from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Lord so that human society can be perfectly organized from all angles of vision, politically, socially, economically, philosophically, and religiously. From any point of view, human society can be reformed by the Krishna consciousness movement. Krishna consciousness is the only hope to rehabilitate the human race. It is it is more necessary than ever to realize the all important relationship of man with God if we want at all to rehabilitate the human race, which is already shattered more than ever. Other attempts at changing the society cannot effect any real or lasting good. You can change, but if you do not change for the real good, then the time will come. Another change that is going on. Just like in Russia, they wanted to change, they brought in a revolution. But what change? They are still begging grains from America. So, what is the use of that change? If you have to beg from another country for your food, then what is the benefit of such a change? So, this is going on. One thing established and again it is changed. That is described in the Shastra. Next page. Shastra. Punah Punas Charvita Charvanam. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 5th chapter, text 30. Chewing the chew.
Charvananam.
Yeah, Charvanam.
Charvananam. Punah Punas Charvita Charvananam.
Punah Punas Charvita Charvananam. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 5, text 30. Chewing the chewit. Just like sugarcane, one has taken the juice by chewing and thrown it in the street, and somebody again takes it and chews it. What he will get? It is already chewed. Big empires, big society, big nation. Hitler wanted to make something big. Napoleon wanted to make something big. Nothing big has been done. Where is Napoleon? Where is Hitler? These are all temporary attempts, sure to be a failure because they do not know how to do things. They are simply imagining concoction. We have made so many material experiments and they have all failed. We were under British rule. Where is that British rule now? And before that, there was the Roman Empire, Carthaginian Empire, Egyptian Empire, so many, Mughal Empire, then British Empire, now your American Empire. But these things will not help. The world's movement for freedom through political, economic, social, and cultural propaganda can do no benefit to anyone, for living beings are controlled by superior power. The uselessness of political revolutions. Revolution is required, they say. The problem is not solved. We are accepting one wrong process, and after going through it for some time, we want to change it. That is not a solution. That means you do not know how to solve it. You are simply trying this method, that method. That is not perfect, but because you cannot solve, therefore you say that a periodical revolution is required because you have no solution. You do not know how to solve, but you accept some process for some time, and when you see it is useless, you make a revolution imperfect. This is punah punascharbita charbananam. Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto 5th chapter text 30. The youthful generation of the present day is very enthusiastic in trying to overthrow the government in different parts of the world. But unless people are Krishna conscious like Dhruva Maharaj, there will be no appreciable change in government, because people who hanker to attain political position by hook or by crook cannot think of the welfare of the people. Bringing everyone to Krishna consciousness was Srila Prabhupada's overarching aim, to which societal reform was a corollary following in its wake. ISKCON is not going to be a social reformer, but as far as possible, we can help. Our main business is how to make everyone Krishna conscious. That is our business. We cannot take up, but if people, we can take up all the system of Varnashram. So, although ISKCON's intention is not social reform per se, no, previous page, no, per se, social revolution, no, previous page. Social revolution is required to fully implement the spiritual revolution of establishing Krishna consciousness widely in the world, with the understanding that we must recreate man if we are to create a new world community. The complete reformation required would be to put civilization on a spiritual footing based on the Vedic teachings. This Krishna consciousness movement is a major revolutionary renaissance, specifically delineating a social and religious conception of life based on authorized Vedic culture. This Krishna consciousness movement is for complete reformation of this rascal civilization. This is not human civilization. Human civilization means Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Our Krishna consciousness movement is suggesting from the Shastras, from the Vedic literature, how to recognize human society. So many things have to be performed by pushing on Krishna consciousness.
Reformed,
What?
reformed. Prabhu, how many things have to be reformed?
Reform. So many things have to be reformed by pushing on Krishna consciousness. Whatever is described in the Bhagavad Gita is within the jurisdiction of the Krishna consciousness movement. So we have to do all this. This revolution can be affected simply by spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. The preaching of the Bhagavatam principles will automatically render all men austere, clean both inside and outside, merciful to the suffering, and truthful in daily behavior. That is the way of correcting the flaws of human society, which are very prominently exhibited at the present moment. Construct hundreds of temples, village to village, town to town, at the same time recruit men. It will revolutionize the whole rascal situation. It can happen quickly. As Hiranyakashipu was killed in a second, the godless civilization can be destroyed at any moment. Yet this was to be a peaceful revolution with no question of unwanted upheaval in society. Still, it would be the most successful of all the upheavals, for other revolutions will not stand. It was to be a more fundamental and far reaching societal transformation than any previously conceived of wholesale reform to change every aspect of the whole of the world by rich spiritualizing it.
Maybe we can stop here because it is going on and on. I was thinking to when it will end.
Yes,
It
yes.
is, it is, oh, so much is there to study. Oh, Krishna. So we will stop here. You can do one thing. Yeah, you can read this particular page. We'll read from the prime. Okay.
Our Krishna consciousness movement is to re-spiritualize the whole social position, political position, anything. The aim, we want to establish a transcendental human society in which everything will be perfectly done so that man will be happy in this life as well as the next.
Okay. So we'll stop here and we'll meet tomorrow at this particular time. Unless and until devotees have any questions, anything to ask, we will stop here. Okay, anyhow, everything is set. So we'll stop here and we'll meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhebhyo vacha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ईश्वर भक्ति विकास स्वामी महाराज की जय, द मूर्य मिशन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.